I go ahead and start recording. But we'll look at what we got. So I'm just going to download these one at a time. If they will download. There it is. All right, file set project. First one up. Handle in. Squid final. Yay. All right, I'm going to activate wireframe on shaded so I can easily see these expressions and see what happens. Happy. Sad. The biggest thing I would say is that your sad eyelids are leaving the eyes. So you want to be careful about that. Keep the eyes activated. You know, you don't want to have gaps, right? Surprise. Whoa. And crazy. Yikes. All right. Cool. And does the bridge work? Yes. And that works. Just like that. Still works. Good deal. You have a little bit of geometry cutting in. So just be careful of little things like that. But other than that, looks really good. Good deal. And I would say, and I said this for CJ also, you know, when animators animate, although this is a full body, I did say this to CJ, but I didn't take this into consideration when I did. This is a full body expression. So, you know, but when animators animate for expressions, they're usually only doing the face. And so they'll usually be up close. So you might want to consider, and again, this isn't going to destroy your grade at all or anything like that, but you might want to consider making your UI a little bit smaller. But again, this is a full body expression, so So that's fine. Yeah. Anyway, good job. Good. Next was Khalil. Make sure you save multiple times. I only have one save file in here. Just every time you save, do a save as and give it another number. But let me see. Okay. Your squid was referenced from your downloads folder, right? That needs to be when you download your squid. Like I have my toothbrush model here, just like I do with every project when I create it. You have to go to drag and drop your squid into your scenes folder and reference it from there. Do not reference it from your downloads. When you click File, Create Reference, you should not go to your downloads folder. It should be here already. Okay? So that's very important because even though you have these squids here, your original squid is not. Let me adjust this clipping plane. That, right? So, your original squid is gone because when I go to open the file, it says reference not found. Squid version 2 is in your downloads folder, right? I don't have your downloads folder. So I have to skip that reference and it's not there, right? So what I'll do in order to be able to view this for now, but this doesn't save you, is I'm going to find somebody else's squid, like mine. Right? So that squid should have been right here. So, okay. I see the expressions. They're definitely interesting expressions. You have a little bit of overlapping here. So be careful about that. Try not to let your geometry overlap. This is sad guy. That's okay. And your crazy should be done from other blend shapes. And I'm not seeing any blend shapes applied. Did you do the blend shape creation? Oh, he's not here. Okay. Yeah, I don't have Khalil. Okay. Well, I'm not seeing blend shapes. All right, so let me set my project for the next one. Richard. Squid final. All right, so activate. And what were you saying you didn't do?
No, I was adding that layer.
Oh, just adding a layer?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. All right.
And erasing the history, so I just knocked that, did that.
Gotcha. So you added the layer, but you didn't add any objects to it.
It's true.
So you want to just select those, right click, add selected objects, and then they will be referenced. So, all right. So happy.
Try turning on the bridge. I think I may have.
I know this was working. Let me, oops. Did you delete history on your character?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I'm not seeing a blend shape applied.
There. I can give you the other one.
Let me see if it's on your bridge. Yeah, you have your blend shape applied to your bridge. That's the thing. You didn't do a bridge or a blend shape from the squid to the main character. Like you did all of your blend shapes to the bridge, but you didn't connect the bridge to the character. So you should have two blend shape nodes. Yeah. Yep, that's what happened. If I select the bridge, just select the main character, create blend shape, then activate that, it will transfer that to the main character.
Yeah, I think it is because I accidentally erased the history of it.
Yeah, that's possible. All right, so there's happy. There's sad. I like that expression. Watch the gaps, but it kind of works in this case. Kind of, not quite. It's a bit overkill. So just watch the gaps. Yeah.
So I wanted to like make I thought the pupils would grow along with it, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah. And in your crazy, because you went so overboard on your other two, you have some facial flipping. Yeah, some overlapping going on.
Yeah.
And I think maybe a little bit here at the end. I'm not positive.
I think it's a little flat.
Yeah, no, it's inverted. It was a little hard to tell, but yeah. So just watch for those. But I like your expressions; they're kind of funny. And honestly, like gap eyeballs and stuff like that. When you do over the top expressions, you see that in SpongeBob and stuff like that, like those over the top animated cartoons where their eyes literally like pop out of their sockets, stuff like that. It's not necessarily wrong. It's just not right for what I was asking for. It all depends on the style of the animation and the company that you're working for and what they're asking you to do. So, I don't want y'all to think that it's absolutely wrong no matter what. It's not. Everything has their purpose. Everything has their reason to be done or not done. And the bridge doesn't seem to be turning off. So,
I give you a different version of this.
You can.
I think that when I deleted the history.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I trust that you'll get that done, and I'll grade the additional version. I gotta keep going though. And this is CJ's, I think. And he's not here, so we'll take a peek at it. So yeah, his was a bit overkill when it came to like that's a long way to move your control to have it do something. So his was a little bit overkill. And they're not working. I think he's probably not done. He has the blend shape node, but that's the bridge. Is the bridge working? No. So he created the blend shapes, but didn't apply them to the controls. It's a bit much, but that is crazy. So that's a different kind of happy. Don't do drugs, kids. It'll turn into a squinty squid. All right.
Do drugs.
And let me see if his bridge. Yeah. So the blend shapes work. He just didn't get them to the control and didn't lock down his controls, stuff like that. So, all right. Let me see if we got any more in before we move on. Okay.
I returned to them.
Okay.
I just managed to delete the history without, removing everything that was there. Does that make sense?
Yep. Happy, sad, crazy, surprise, bridge off. Yep, all works. Cool. All right, good deal. Just need to, finalize your hierarchy and stuff like that. But other than that, it's all good. All right. So I haven't been able to actually. Oh wait, no, I did. Yeah. But why are you disturbing my class? But I didn't get the model, and I didn't get the assignment sheet. So let me just throw those up there real quick. So right, I won't forget another model for the rest of the quarter because this is our last model. Assignment sheet is biped skeleton file setup and skeleton. There it is. So there's that, and there's Rodney. Save. Is that supposed to be woo, or is that supposed to be no? All right, so yes, we are starting on Rodney. Rodney is our main character. He is the bane of some people's existence and the savior of others. I don't know. Probably not, but not looking forward to this one. Okay. Well, I will try and make it as understandable as possible. So, but some of this I might do. I might need to grab my Wacom tablet just to do some of the some of the demonstrations that I want. So I'm going to create a new project, private file, project window, new, and B parks underscore biped character. And that's going to go on my desktop. I'm going to click accept. And first and foremost, and this is Khalil, I see you're here now. You missed what I said about your squid, but your squid.
Good Lord. Sorry.
Okay. Your squid did not have your referenced file in it, right? So if I pull up my project directory, go to scenes folder, and take Rodney from your download and put it into your scenes folder first, and then reference him in. So I'm going to create a new scene, file, create reference. So you created the reference, but you created the reference from your downloads folder. I don't have your downloads folder. Know what I mean? So reference that in, and here is our good friend Rodney. Hello.
Rodney looks like he has a helmet.
He's like a mix between, I don't know. I feel like he works in an office environment. All right, so this is what he looks like. Now, let me go and grab my Wacom tablet because I want to talk, because we're going to start by setting up his skeleton, and I want to talk about and draw out what I'm going to do before I do it. So give me 1 second. I usually do this on a whiteboard, but we don't have one here. So, plus we have virtual. All right. Ba-ba-ding. All right, so we're going to start doing something similar to what we did with the puppet. Okay. And I'm going to get this. Well, no, that's fine, as is. So we're going to do, this is tilting. Okay. So we're going to do, I'm just going to do his body here. And I'm going to do the side view. So here's his arm. He has a really skinny neck and a big old bulbous head. Big old ears, low ears. He has really low ears. All right, so here's Rodney, right? Okay, so we're going to start from the core. I'm going to do this on a separate layer. I'm going to start from the core, and we're just going to go straight up through the body, straight up through the neck. We're going to do, because he has such a long neck, we want to do at least 3 joints. 3 is probably enough. One at the base, one in the middle, one at the top. Bless you. Bless you again. And one at the back of the head, just like at the puppet. One at the top and out. And I'll just connect those, the little V's. And out, right? Okay, so that's going to be that. And we'll, of course, have one for the eye and out, just like we did before. One for the mandible and out, just like we did before. And back of the head, top of the head, out. Eye, mandible. And then base of the jaw, bottom of the jaw, end of the jaw, and out. Just like we did for the puppet. And that's connected to the back of the head. Here's the neck and down. Just like that, right? Okay. And that goes down into the body. Right. So that's the hole for the arm, right? Okay. So, the end of the eyes, just like that. Okay. So this is what we're going to start with. Okay. When you're taking your notes, draw yourself a little diagram. It helps, right? From the front, it's going to look just the same as the puppet, right? So to start, we want to do this in a front view or a side view, okay? And we want to have our wireframe visible, right? So wireframe on shaded really helps in laying out your stuff. Now, in this case, I think a side view is probably the best because not only is he centered on the center plane, right? We can also see the curve of his back and the neck. It's not a perfect straight line. It's pretty close, though. And then we can go straight in. And every single joint that we place is going to be placed on this grid. So it'll be easy to work with, right? So again, I'm going to go to the rigging menu set, and I'm going to punch through this pretty quickly for this part because we've done this before. This is no different than the puppet.
How do you size the joints?
They will resize as soon as you place additional joints, but also you can go to display, animation, joint size, right? So if it's a single joint, it's always going to be one size until you place another connecting joint to it, and then it will resize. So you don't want to judge based on a single place joint, but if your overall joints are not sized the way you want them, you can always just do display, animation, joint size. All right, so let's start down here, right at the top of the hip here. And I want it to be fairly centered on about this edge line right here on the shirt, give or take, right? And I want to try and be as straight as possible for this. I'm just going to start here. Oh, I can't see my joints. I need to activate X-ray joints. So again, this little box that's holding a joint, you can do that. Or you can go to shading, X-ray joints. That really helps. This is a perfect example of it being way too big until you place the next joint. So I'm just going to place the next joint. Why is it huge? It really shouldn't be this big. I'm going to go to my display joint size. Display animation, display animation joint size. 4.54. I didn't do that. All right, set that back to 1. Okay, so there's that. I'm just going to keep going up through as straight as I can. Here, I'm going to pop to the front and just make sure, again, X-ray joints. Make sure this is where I want this. It's pretty well at the base of the neck. I'm just going to go a tiny bit higher. Like that. Oops. Back to the side. This is going to need to go at a little bit of an angle. 1, 2, and then the base of the head, back of the head, top of the head, and up. All right, so like I said, this is no different. I'm going to change the background color so that you might be able to see this a little bit better. But there it is. Here, straight through, up through the head. Let me look at this here. I might I'm gonna move this joint forward just a little bit. So I'm gonna hold down D and move that forward just a little bit. I will, because I moved this orientation is not exactly right. So I'm going to go ahead. I don't have to wait to have the entire skeleton done to do my joint orientations. I'm just going to reset this, turn off children of selected joints, and reorient that. You see that little tiny shift? There, right? Okay. So and I'm not too happy about the spacing on this one, so I'm just going to move that up. Again, hold down D and just move it on the Y. Since my joints are here in a straight line, I don't have to reorient. I'm simply moving it up the joint chain, right? If I want to be sure of it, I can always hit apply, but it's not going to do anything in this case, right? All right, so this is my... I'll go ahead and name these because I don't want to name them all at the end. To make this really easy, I'm just going to select the end here and hit F over my outliner. I move my mouse over my outliner. I don't have to click, just hit F, and that will focus on the selected joint, which happens to show every single joint between from the start to the finish. This main joint is going to be called my cog, C-O-G, center of gravity. Okay, so this first joint is my cog. So I'm going to type that cog, C-O-G underscore J-N-T. I'm just going to copy underscore J-N-T so I don't have to type it a million times, make things faster. And then I have spine 01, spine underscore 01, paste. I'll just copy that and spine 02, spine 03, spine 04, spine 05. And this can be spine end or neck base. Either one of those is fine. I'm going to do, or it could just be spine 06, right? I'm going to call it spine end. And neck. Actually, you know what? I'll do neck 01. Neck 01, because I usually can't consider that the base of the neck. This will be neck 02. Neck 03. Head, A-N-T. And just like I said before, back back of head underscore JNT, right? So you lowercase each first word, capitalize every word after that when you're doing that. So back, capital of, capital head, underscore JNT. Top of head, same, lowercase top, capitalized of, capitalized head, underscore JNT. And then this last one, I can delete, right? It's done its job. I don't need it anymore. I'll go ahead and finish the head because we only have a couple of minutes here. I'm going to again go to my side view, reselect my create joints tool, my joint tool, right? Technically, I could hit Y to reselect that tool if I haven't done anything outside of that. Select the joint, the back of the head joint. Make sure not to create a new joint, right? I want to select that back of the head joint, and it's not letting me do it. Let me try it in perspective view. Nope. Nope. All right, so it's not going to let me do it here. I'm just going to select it in the outliner, okay? So make sure you don't create a second joint. That would be problematic. I'll go ahead and create the mandible. Boom, and out. Hit enter. I'll go ahead and delete that one. I don't need it, and I'll name this one mandible. M-A-N-D-I-B-L-E underscore J-N-T. Make more room for my hierarchy here. Reselect my joint selection tool, select the back of the head, and we're doing the jaw. The jaw, think about anatomy. He has a little bit weird anatomy with his ears so low, so his jaw is going to start right about here. And then we go down to the back corner of the jaw. Go to the just under the lip and out. Hit enter, and we rename our joints. Jaw, either jaw base or jaw 01. ANT, jaw O2, ANT, jaw O3, ANT, or jaw end, and then this one we can delete. It's done its job. All right. Then we set up the eyes. It's 10:50. Let's go ahead and go to break. Deanna, what do you mean sternum? We do have a sternum, yes. You can name it sternum if you want. I just named it as part of the spine. Because technically I'm creating spine joints, not a sternum joint, which you can create a separate sternum joint for the sake of helping to hold volume when you're skinning. But it's usually a separately floating joint, or it's just connected to the spine itself, like as forward from the spine, right? The spine will be like this, and it'll be a joint that's connected to the sternum like that, stuff like that. Sometimes people will make actual ribs out, right? It just depends on the size of the character. You know, when you have a large character like a beast type character, werewolf or something like that, you know, you have a lot of really wide geometry. You'll have branching joints that will either be free floating and just be constrained to the spine or other controls, or you'll have like created rib cage type of stuff. So, but yeah, so good question. All right, I'm going to stop the recording and I'll see you all in 10.